Hi.
First of all, hi. What's your name?
My name is Nechi.
Okay. Good to see you here today. So for the IELTS speaking test, we're going to have 3 parts. Part 1 is just going to be a couple of questions. You can answer them in a couple sentences as you would like. They don't take too long for the questions. For the second part of the test, the speaking test, I will give you 1 or 2 questions, and you will be given 2 minutes for each question to answer it. You'll be given 1 minute to prepare it first, and then you can have 2 minutes to talk. Be as thorough as possible. Explain, add detail to what you're talking about so that I know exactly what you mean or how to interpret it. So for your first question, for the first part of the speaking test for today, what is your job?
My job is cake decorating job. I decorate cakes. I used to be a cake decorator in big company. It was Deerberg Central Bakery, and I have worked there 5 years.
Okay.
And it was really big plant. We used to make around 100 cakes per day.
Can I point out your... Oh, okay. I said for the first and third parts, you're not supposed to answer in detail. You just answer in 1 or 2 sentences. Because I have questions that you just already answered. I was going to ask, where do you work? But you already answered that with the first part. So don't be as detailed with the first part.
First part.
First
and answer.
Yes,
Okay,
I said
gotcha.
first part.
Gotcha.
So
No details.
I'll ask you like 5 or 6 questions for the first part, and they'll be related to each other. That's why don't go too deep into one. Into answering one question. Okay, got it. Why did you choose your job?
Because it's my hobby. I like decorating cakes. That's why I choose this for a living.
Is it a popular job in the country that you live in?
Yes, it is, and highest pay job in this city.
Do you like your job?
Of course, yeah.
Do you get on well with your colleagues?
Yes, all the time, every time.
What responsibilities do you have at work?
Cutting cakes, icing, decorating, making customers happy.
If you had the chance, would you change your job?
If I can make more money, of course, yes, I will, because life is really hard right now in the whole world. Yes, I do. But I will keep my decorating jobs at home.
Do you plan to continue with your job in the future for a long time?
If I find better job, like highest pay job, I'm gonna keep that like a second job, like a part-time job. I will keep it.
Gotcha. Thank you for answering all the questions that I asked. Now we're moving on to part 2 of the speaking test. One moment for me to pull up questions. Okay. For the second part, I will give you a topic, one topic to discuss. I'll set a timer for a minute. You will prepare your topic for 1 minute, and then you can have 2 minutes to talk about the topic. So the task is to describe a time you were embarrassed. You should say when it was, who you were with, or where you were, what happened, and how you coped with it afterwards, how you dealt with it. So let me set a timer for 1 minute. You can start.
Okay. My first language is Uzbek, right? And before I came to America, I didn't know speaking speak in English. And we came to America in 2018, and 1 week after we came, we started working here with American people. And I used to understand them like 10%, and I could speak only 10%. And one time, after 1 week after I start working, one of my colleague came to me and he said, "How's it going?" And he just walked away, and I was like, "Did he ask some question?" I go back to him. He was walking away, and I stopped him, and I asked him, "What did you say?" And he goes like, "Oh no, I just said, how's it going?" And I was like, "Oh, sorry," and I went back to my job. I went back to my position and do my job, and I was like, I was so embarrassed. Then I started learning. We're gonna answer together.
Kızım kırmızı kızım, zebra kızım, zambur kızım, asaları kızım. Kızım, aman ne yapıyorsun hadi.
Yeah.
Tamam,
Kızım
tabii,
kızım,
tabii.
zebra kızım,
For the
zambur
first,
kızım, asal kızım, zambur
question of the
kızım,
third part
nergis
of the speaking
kızım.
test for today.
Kızım,
The question is, what popular traditions do you have in your country?
I have to answer. No, but don't go too detailed. Can you repeat that question?
What
please?
popular traditions do you have in your country?
We have one holiday. It's really popular. It's like a traditional holiday. It's called Navruz. Everyone celebrates in March. It's like starting a year in my religion and in our tradition. And everyone makes food, same type of food. It's called smalak.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's important to keep these traditions alive?
Of course, yes, I think so.
Mm-hmm. Are young people less interested in traditions these days?
Depends on parents, you know. If parents keep telling them, keep making them to celebrate, they will interested. And in my country, government makes them to celebrate that holiday. That way, young people also knows what this tradition is.
Mm-hmm. Do you think foreign culture is influencing the culture in your country?
Repeat.
Do you think
Please.
foreign culture is influencing the culture in your country? Like, do you think the Western culture is affecting your country's culture? It's changing it.
A little bit, yeah. I think so. Because some young people starting looking at European people, starting dressing up like these people, you know. But still, I will keep telling that it depends on parents. You didn't listen to me. How are you gonna score me?
I've been listening. Depends on, yeah.
Mhm.
How has your country's culture changed over the last few decades?
Oh, it's decades.
A couple of 10 years.
I'm thinking it's not getting bad. It's getting better. Because my country, they celebrate, government makes people, not only people, like schools, companies, to celebrate traditional cultural stuff every year, and making them to celebrate every year, not only one holiday. It's like our Independence Day. We celebrate like a traditional our Independence Day. And Nowruz, everyone celebrates that. Everyone dresses up like a traditional clothes, traditional food, stuff. I don't think it get bad. It's getting better. I don't think in my country they're losing their traditional culture.
What kinds of traditional foods are there in your country?
Pilav, samsa, mantı, sumalak, halam, noren. A lot.
Northern? It's northern.
Noren is they make with horse meat and dove.
Dog?
Dove.
Oh.
Dove. Dove mu? Kanetası.
Dove.
Dove, yeah. Dove and horse meat.
When Oh, doe.
Doe.
Yes,
Yeah,
I thought you
doe.
meant the bird dove.
No. Doe.
Okay. When do people wear traditional clothing in your country?
In wedding days, wedding parties, and that holiday, Nowruz, and Independence Day, and in the village, a lot of people they wear traditional clothes every day. Yeah, daily.
All right, I think that's my last question for the third part.
Mhm.
Would you like your feedback to be in Uzbek or English?
English, please.
Okay. So, what I have noticed from your speaking, I think you're very good at understanding the definition and meaning of each word and how to use it, but you have a problem or you struggle with putting words together.
Yes,
The
yes.
grammar, when you put the words together, they make sense when they're alone by themselves, but when you put them into a big sentence, they don't go in as well as they should.
Because I have poor dictionary. This
Not
is my
dictionary,
problem.
but poor grammar.
Grammar too,
Yes.
yeah. Poor dictionary and poor grammar. I definitely can tell it is my problem.
The what you don't struggle with, or what you think you're better at than most people who are starting to learn English, you understand what I'm saying exactly. You don't have to ask me to repeat it many times, or you don't. When I ask you a question, you know exactly what I mean. You don't take it the wrong way. You know how to answer it. And when I gave you directions, you understood it correctly. And as well as your fluency. Fluency doesn't just depend on how your accent sounds or how good your grammar is, but it's being able to put words out there. Like even if you don't, even if you don't have the exact word for what you want to say, it's just that you keep talking, which is better for you than just avoiding talking just because you think you'll make a mistake. That's the problem with a lot of speakers. They'll hold back, they'll hesitate, they'll pause for too long because they're like, oh, what if I say the wrong thing and they're gonna give me a bad grade? You're getting a worse grade just because you're not saying anything than if you do say something at the least. So I think that you have that all correct. So out of 9, I don't want to give you a score.
No, you need to be honest. Don't be like, this is my mom. I'm your student right now. So be honest.
Can I give you a grade based on each category, not just as a whole total? So
yes.
Grammar, vocabulary,
yes,
separate.
and then first give them separate. Then you can give me one record.
Okay.
I mean score.
So let me just say out first of all that your grammar is a 5.5.
Okay.
Okay. But your fluency, adapting to the conversation and being able to
comfortable.
being comfortable, being able to develop your thoughts as thoroughly as possible. I would say that's a 7 because most people don't have that. For your vocabulary, I would say it's a 6.0. It is enough to be speaking to a
So are you
daily
giving me a 6.0 total score?
No.
Huh?
And that's not it. I'll look at the criteria for you. Hold
Okay, look at it.
IDP, speaking, criteria.
Put them separate and shunda chiqib keladi. Averages.
So, yes. So, one moment. Coherence is speaking for a long enough time without noticeable effort or loss of coherence, meaning you're able to keep the conversation going without seeming like you're trying too hard. You don't go you don't do that too often. And I can understand what you're saying, even though there's a bit of an accent. I can get I don't have to work too hard in my brain to understand what you're saying. And then lexical resource, that's vocabulary. You have enough vocabulary for a daily conversation, but maybe you would struggle in an education. Say you would need more vocabulary than this, but for now it's a 6.0 or maybe even a 6.5, your vocabulary, because it's enough for a daily amount of use. And grammatical range and accuracy, I would say between 5.5 and 6.0. I might have to be really...
I think it's 5 point, even just 5.0.
No, I think it's 5.5, but not 5.0. You would have to use a range of complex structures with some flexibility for a band 7.
I always have problem putting the and a on the
for
spot.
that, I
It's
would-
always confusing me. Always, it's my problem.
For that, I would recommend reading a lot of articles.
Yes, I have.
Even if you don't have time to read a whole book, just read articles on the news. You can just like look up, or you would get notifications from news around the local area. Just read the
I
news,
do.
because the more you read, the more you see the certain words in a certain context, in a certain situation, you'd be like, next time you see this word, you'd be like, oh, I can use this in this situation, but not in this situation. This is what I'm used to seeing, so this is what I'll use that in. It'll get you used to being able to imagine what kind of, in what place of the sentence would that go in, or in what form.
She's saying, take IELTS for me. You don't need IELTS. You American citizen. You don't need IELTS. I need IELTS. You know?
And then for your pronunciation, I would say it's a 7.0 or it's even 7.5, because a lot of the students that I've had in the past, they don't have, they read it like they would an Uzbek word, I think.
Oh.
Like with a lot of the.
But I thought
or the
I
R.
have a big problem with my pronunciation.
No.
Even I can't say that pronunciation.
No, it would be a problem if I couldn't understand you, or if
Oh.
it was hard to understand you.
Oh,
That's not a
okay.
problem right now. It's just because you don't sound American doesn't mean you have a bad accent. American is also considered an accent. American is an accent. British is an accent. Everyone has their own accent. As long as I can understand what you're saying, that's enough for the pronunciation. I would definitely give you a 7.5
Okay.
for your pronunciation. So
Okay.
then we have a grammar 5.5, pronunciation 7.5, vocabulary
6.0.
6.0, and
şundan
then
average
fluency and
kaç arası?
coherence 6.5.
Okay.
So then in total, I want to give you a 6.5.
6.5.
Yes.
It's higher than 6 point. I was guessing it's 6.0.
No, it's 6.5.
You're giving me a too high.
You're much closer to 7.0 than a 6.0, just because you don't hold yourself back from talking to other English speakers. You have
I don't.
you seem to be much more comfortable in the language. You don't have to hide your thinking, and I can tell that you know what I'm talking about, that the conversation is going smoothly, and you're not trying too hard. You're not looking for the right word, but you're thinking of the topic instead. That's when I can tell how your fluency, how fluent you are in English. Because if I ask you a question and the only thing that you're thinking of is the right word to say this.
Yes. I stop talking when I can't remember the word where to put. That's this time only I stopped. Otherwise, I don't stop.
Yeah.
I don't step back. I'm just gonna talk because I like talking.
I can tell you're more fluent when the problem with your speaking isn't that you're looking for the right word, but you're looking to put out your express your thoughts more coherently. If that's more important if that seems to be more important in the way you're like acting or thinking, then I can tell that you're very much fluent and you have enough vocabulary in your system or in your brain, whatever it is. But for you, I would definitely recommend for the grammar, read a lot more articles than you usually do, or just read English text. Just like there are websites where they put out, or apps even, they put out daily like a paragraph of text. It's only a little bit. If you read only a little bit every day, that's enough for you to get the grammar down.
Yes, I used to do that. I used to watch Vanessa in English teacher.
Watching videos is more for pronunciation, being able to be fluent
But
in
she
the language.
shows the words and she shows how to put them together, and she explains to them, put them like different way. That's why I liked her classes. And the other lady, Spanish lady, I can't remember her name, but her class is also great. But I did long pause. That's why I have problem. I shouldn't have to stop this classes. I should have to keep taking, keep watching every day, I guess.
I
And
think those
start at
kinds of videos are more for like very early beginners, but you're not a beginner. You already know how to like put out a conversation. You know how to keep a conversation going. all you need now is looking at text. Because in those videos I see they give you a sentence and they teach you how to put a certain word in a specific sentence. That's not going to do you much. You're only going to know how to use that word in that one specific sentence. But if you read text, paragraphs of text, like where there's not only one sentence, but like tens of sentences, you can have a lot more experience just by looking at it, not just hearing other people say it. That's for pronunciation. For pronunciation, I would definitely recommend watching movies or how to start a conversation, like YouTube videos where fluent native English speakers talk. But for you, for the grammar part, I would definitely, if you had time for a book is more convenient. But if not, just watch or read news every day. Just read one paper of news every day. It doesn't have to be on paper either. It's just on your phone.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for participating today. I hope, I believe in you. I believe you can reach a 9.
Thank you.
Thank you.